If you're like me and you like using SMGs in Warzone, but after the mid-season update today, you feel like every SMG is just super weak and can't kill quick enough, then this video is going to give you the 5 best SMGs to use, ranking them in order of TTK. If you enjoy weapon stat breakdowns and weapon comparisons, don't forget to subscribe to the channel as we try to reach our goal of 10,000 subscribers, and click that link in the description down below and subscribe to our second channel. We do post extra content over there as well. But like I said, this video is all about the 5 fastest killing SMGs. We're mainly focusing on the close range TTK of all of these weapons. We don't want to look at the long range TTK because most people do use their SMG for close range. Now usually I would show you recoil and other factors, but since it's going to be close range and we're talking below 10 meters here, you don't really need to consider recoil all that much, because even with guns that have super hard recoil to manage, you can still control it within 10 meters. But let's start off this list at number 5, and like I said, this list is going in order. So the MP5 from Cold War is actually now the 5th fastest killing SMG in the game for up close. Is no longer number 1 where it used to be, and this now actually kills in 562 milliseconds up close. So like I said, is nowhere near as good as it was before, but it's still one of the fastest killing SMGs in the game. For the class setup, you still want to use the class setup that we're used to because they never really altered the recoil or anything like that. So you do want to use the agency suppressor for the sound suppression, vertical recoil control, which is important, and the damage range and bullet velocity. Then you want to skip over the barrel entirely because you get the clean iron sights and you don't want to really increase the recoil on this gun. Then you do want to use the bruiser grip for the faster movement speed and better hipfire accuracy. You do want to use that Tiger Teen Spotlight. You do want to go for the 50 round drum because this doesn't hurt your ADS nearly as much as the salvo mags. And then lastly, for the last attachment, you want to use that Raider stock on there for the faster strafing speeds. So overall movement wasn't touched when it comes to this weapon, so it's still a decent gun. But when it comes to TTK, it's not as good as it was before. But like I said, it's still at number 5. At number 4, we actually have the Fennec. Now this is one of the guns that actually went under the radar when the Cold War weapons came out. It always had a pretty decent TTK, but now it's actually got the 4th best TTK when it comes to SMGs in this game at 552 milliseconds. So like I said, the Fennec is a really good option now, and the reason why it's balanced more than the other ones is because you burn through ammo really quickly with this gun, similar to the kind of AS Val, if you want to compare it to that. When it comes to the best class setup, you do want to use the deadfall barrel for the sound suppression, bullet velocity, and recoil control, and it's also an integrated suppressor, so it makes it a lot easier. You don't need to use 2 separate attachments for this, so it is a great attachment option. Then for ammunition, you do need to use that 40 round drum mag. It's pretty much essential for this gun, otherwise you can't really use it at all. Then I would definitely put on sleight of hand so you could reload that mag really quickly. Then I would use the no stock attachment for the faster movement speeds. Now it does give you a con to recoil, but like I said, using this gun at close range, you can still manage the recoil pretty easily with this gun, and it's going to give you faster movement speeds overall. Now before everyone would go for the Merc foregrip, now after using Cold War weapons and having that Cold War movement with the Cold War weapons, you can't really choose the Merc foregrip anymore. It gives you benefits to recoil control and hip fire, but it hurts your aim walking movement speed and your aim down sight speed, and these are 2 key things that Cold War weapons do really well. So what I would go for instead is the 1 milliwatt laser, and this is to give you better hip fire accuracy without any cons, and this is the way I would build the Fennec. At number 3, we have another gun that went under the radar, which is the Modern Warfare AUG. Now, the only reason this gun has the 3rd best TTK is because of its 5.56 ammo conversion, and that gives you a TTK of 542 milliseconds up close. So for the best class setup for this, you do want to use the mono suppressor. There's no integrated suppressor with this gun, so you do get the sound suppression and the damage range. Similarly with the Fennec, I would skip over the underbarrel entirely. I don't think it's going to be useful, especially coming off the back of those Cold War weapons. So then for the ammunition, like I said, you have to use the 5.56 ammo to get that good TTK value. So I would go with the 30 round mags because the 60 rounds just slow you down way too much. It does give you a bit of a con to recoil, but you're going to have to accept that because you're going to be using this gun at close range. Then I would go with the stippled grip tape for the faster sprint to fire time and the faster aim down sight speed. Then when it comes to stock attachments, you actually want to use the ultralight hollow. This is going to give you a similar effect to that Raider stock you get with the Cold War weapons. It's going to give you faster aim walking movement speeds. And then lastly, you do want to equip that 5mm laser on there for the better hipfire accuracy and the faster sprint to fire time. And this is going to be the best close range movement build for the Modern Warfare AUG, and you're going to get that super fast TTK. At number 2, we have the Modern Warfare MP5. Now this gun is back again, and it's always somewhere in the meta. You can always use this gun and it's still very reliable. So when it comes to the TTK now, it's actually at second place at 526 milliseconds up close. So when it comes to the best class setup, you can go for the usual. So you can go for the monolithic integral suppressor, which is basically going to give you bullet velocity and sound suppression. You can go for the 45 round mags. You can go for the clap stock. You can go for sleight of hand. And then you go for the Merc foregrip, and you can build it this way. Or you could take off sleight of hand and you could put on the 5mm laser for better hipfire accuracy. But personally, the way I would build this weapon, and like I said, this Merc foregrip actually slows you down when you compare yourself to a lot of the Cold War weapons out there. So if you can manage the recoil on the MP5, remove the foregrip and use sleight of hand and the 5mm laser, and this is the way I would be building. Now, to be completely honest, I do think the Modern Warfare MP5 is actually the best SMG in the game. It's got a good balance of a magazine capacity, it's got good TTK values, and overall the movement's great. So whilst I was editing this video, I actually came across a few Twitter posts and a few comments saying that the Modern Warfare MP5 actually got a stealth nerf when it comes to its damage profile and just overall TTK. So we did do some quick testing on this just to make sure that it's still got the TTK it says it's got. So there was no stealth nerf when it comes to this gun. So as you can see here, we did do the testing literally just a minute ago after we seen these tweets. So as you can see, my damage is currently starting at 467 damage. And that is just me playing this practice mode here. And as you can see, I'm using the Modern Warfare MP5. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot this target right here, which is a bot, to get the damage profile. As you can see, right here, I do land a chest shot. That is where the crosshair is at the moment. And then what you can see here is that the damage is 501. So if you do the maths on it, it's 34 damage, which is what the damage was previously. Then from 501, we then do the exact same thing to land a headshot to see if the headshot damage profile has changed at all. So as you can see here, the hit marker is hit the head as well. And from 501 to now 550, if you can see that right here, from 501 to 550, you can see that the damage is 49 from that as well. So the damage profile up close for the Modern Warfare MP5 has not changed. We also tested the rate of fire as well, and that's exactly the same as it was before. But if we're talking about the #1 best SMG at close range when it comes to time to kill, it actually has to go to the new OTS-9, and this has a TTK of 494 milliseconds up close. This does drop off very harshly though. I think this drops off at around 8 to 10 meters, and you pretty much get like hit markers there after that. It's not a good time to kill that 8 to 10 meters. You've got about 800 millisecond TTK, and that is insanely slow. So like I said, when it comes to the best class setup for this gun, you do want to use that Cold War build. So you do want to use the GRU suppressor for the sound suppression, recoil control, bullet velocity, and damage range. You want to skip over the barrel because this gun does have a little bit of recoil, and you do want to go for the bruiser grip for the movement speed and hipfire accuracy. Then for the mag attachment, you need to use a Spetsnaz 40 round. This is just the largest magazine attachment available. Then for the stock, you do want to use that skeletal stock for the faster strafing speeds, and this is going to give you the best overall movement. And then lastly, you do want to use a Tiger Team Spotlight as well to improve your movement even more. And like I said, this is going to be the best close range build for the new OTS. And like I said, this gun has got a bit of weird recoil, and the damage drops off way harder than the Modern Warfare MP5. So if I had to say which one was my #1, it would definitely be the Modern Warfare MP5. But if we're ranking these guns solely off close range TTK, then the OTS-9 has the fastest close range TTK in the game. So there we have it. Those are the 5 best close range TTK weapons when it comes to SMGs inside Warzone. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, don't forget to subscribe to the channel as we try to reach our goal of 10,000 subscribers. And also click that link in the description and subscribe to our second channel. And thank you very much for watching.